It's a beautiful Sunday evening here in South Bama. It is November 30th, 2025. And a lot of things happening here in this country. You're watching a lot of things transpire in America and across the globe. And many of you stack precious metals. And I watched a video today on a YouTube channel called The Still Report. And this alleged email that this gentleman was reading. Maybe you've watched it on another video, but I'll just give you a rundown here. JP Morgan, this is from the email. JP Morgan Chase moved its entire gold trading desk that handles billions of dollars every day from New York to Singapore. This is not an expansion. This is an escape. 50 plus traders and their families were told to be in Singapore by the end of last week. JP Morgan has already delivered $4 billion in physical bullion against the New York future contracts just this week. Now, this is an alleged email from JP Morgan. And we saw what happened Friday with silver breaking past $3, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange going down, COMEX going down. Something is going on. It goes on to say there is exploding with ultra high net worth clients moving money out of the US. What do they know, ladies and gentlemen? Jamie Dimon visited the Shanghai Gold Exchange in March and has been building deep ties with China's gold market. Meanwhile, BRICS countries just sold another $93 billion in US Treasuries last week. Where do you think a lot of that money is going? It's going right into gold, right out of US dollars into gold, into physical gold. When the biggest gold desk on the planet quietly leaves New York, it is because the smart money knows something the public has not been told. Something is definitely going on. If you hear some noise, it's the guineas over here. They're getting big. The public has not been told, and they probably never will be, but they will find out, and they're going to find out the hard way. Do the bankers know that Fort Knox is empty? Supposedly, according to this email, the president is going to be auditing Fort Knox. We've been hearing about that, it seems like forever. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. Whether this is real or not, I don't know. I'm putting it out there. It's floating around. But something happened on Friday. Something really, really big happened on Friday. Was there some failure to deliver? The COMEX goes down. Chicago Mercantile goes down. Data, their data offices overheated. Their data centers overheated in late November. Very odd, isn't it? Look, anything's possible. But I mean, I don't know if I believe in all these coincidences. Do you? But something, in my opinion, is going on. King World News, long-term silver target, a jaw-dropping $370 as miners prepare for blast-off. We're hearing some big numbers out there with silver. I want to see it hit 100. And I think it is going to hit 100. But remember, when it does hit 100, we're in a different world. We are in a different world. But to the people out there who've been following this channel, I don't know how long this channel's been up for, 8 years, 9 years, something like that. I don't even know. But from pretty much day one, I was talking about silver, talking about gold. I introduced it to a lot of people that became very, very serious stackers. Many people, for the most part, didn't believe it, didn't accept it, and never stacked any of it. But to the people out there that did, and the people watching this that were stacking before me, and many of you even influenced me to stack even more, because when I started, I was stacking a little bit, but I began to stack a lot more, and a lot more, and a lot more. But you all had the knowledge. You connected the dots. You literally saw into the future, not with a crystal ball, but by connecting the dots using common sense, using knowledge. And you were able to see what this stuff was going to do down the road. It took years to get here, but here we are. Silver's exploding. gold's exploding, the country's imploding, the dollar's imploding, but you saw the future. And history is now in the making. And many of you are going to survive this collapse because you're prepared mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. But I congratulate all the people out there because for years, especially with silver, so volatile, they just wouldn't let it move. It just every day it was up a couple cents, down a couple cents, up a couple cents. You remember it just took forever to break $20. Then it took forever to break $25. And here we are now. What are we at? $56. I can't even keep track of this. But you believed what was coming. And many of you now have gotten wealthy because of it. I've always looked at gold and silver, especially gold, as wealth insurance, but it's gone up so much, people are actually making money off of it now. And I think people are going to make a lot more money off of it as the dollar gets destroyed. And this is now, I think gold and silver is something that now is completely necessary to have in order to survive financially from what's coming. It's not a matter of, hold 5 or 10%. This stuff now is a lifeline. If you need help, need a reputable bullion dealer to buy from, go to my link down below, SD Bullion, in my opinion, the best in the world. It's who I've been dealing with for 8 years. And you got to be really, really careful who you're listening to, who you're buying from. I will say this again. There's some good bullion dealers out there. I believe SD Bullion's the best, but there are dealers out there that do not put their prices online. Stay away from these guys. Stay away. If you're going to buy from somebody, make sure that they're posting their prices on their website. But make sure you have some of this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's imperative now at this point. This is so important. It's a necessity now to survive what is coming. The dollar is on borrowed time. You're just seeing too many countries dumping treasuries and buying physical gold. Too many central banks buying physical gold. China putting too much physical gold away. Russia doing the same thing. The BRICS. It's all pointing to the new world reserve currency, which is going to be gold. And of course, silver is going to go along for the ride. In fact, it may outperform gold. I like gold because of the storability. That you can get a lot of gold in basically a shoebox or a small case. Whereas silver, you need more room to store it, transport it, things like that. But look, right now, silver is probably the smartest asset, cheapest asset on planet Earth right now. It's on sale. It's probably the best bang for the dollar out of any asset on planet Earth right now. What else can you buy for $56 right now? And you all know it's going over $100. It's going to double. And like this article in King World News, 370, 270, 570, who knows where this is all going? It's very needed for AI, technology, EVs, all this stuff. And of course, it has monetary value too. And they're not making any more silver. And all this stuff, silver and gold, it's getting more expensive to mine. It's getting more expensive to find. There's a lot of regulation in mining. And, we've mined a lot of this stuff already. And how much is left? Who knows? Hal Turner radio show. U.S.-Ukraine meeting in Florida did not go well. Doomsday announced and reality finally understood. Doomsday has arrived for Ukraine. I think that hopefully, prayerfully, this war is winding down. Who knows? It could escalate. I don't know. The U.S. wants Ukraine to hold elections as soon as possible. Big trouble. This means the end of Zelensky, in my opinion. Remember, they have not had an election since the war started, and a lot of people want him out because he is a very corrupt politician. He has taken a lot of U.S. money. He's living the high life, living in big houses. He has stolen, in my opinion, a lot of money, and he's cost the lives of a lot of people on both sides of this war. The U.S. made it explicitly clear that Ukraine has to give up territories. Reality is now setting in. So what do you think? Is it time to end this thing? Is Ukraine just going to have to fold and give up? This could have been avoided years ago. It wasn't. It escalated. And, said this a long time ago, Russia is going to be the winner here. Many people agreed. Remember all those people wearing the little yellow and blue stickers and patches and flying the little flags and all that? They've completely disappeared now because they now realize this whole thing has been a big money laundering scheme. One of the most corrupt countries in the world, Ukraine. Didn't Zelensky say, hey, we're missing $200 billion? Like, we don't even know where the $200 billion went that you sent us. But all these guys are driving around Ferraris. They're going to Monaco in yachts, big yachts. They're building big houses. I pray for peace in Ukraine, peace in Russia, peace for the world. So many people have lost their lives over this needless war, while a very few at the top got very, very rich, very, very wealthy at the cost of a lot of human life. And I hope that these people pay a severe price. If they don't pay the price here on earth, they're going to pay it in the afterlife. That is for sure. Reality is now setting in. The United States of Delusion, the hedge today. A couple bullet points on this article. Very, very good. If you get a few minutes, Google these articles, check them out. For years, people have been told that certain problems don't exist. I mean, how true is that? Like, we're being told that there's hardly any unemployment, there's hardly any inflation, the economy's doing well. The border isn't wide open. Crime is down. Failing schools are just fine. Our cities are flourishing, etc. Millions of people have accepted these claims because, not because they verified these claims, but because they've heard them repeated endlessly by institutions they once trusted. And that is so very, very true. If you tell a lie enough times, people begin to believe it. It's so true. We're in a very, very dangerous moment in history, ladies and gentlemen, and I think most of you realize that. That's why you've been buying gold, been buying silver, you've been putting emergency food away, you've been living below your means. The people who are really awake, this is how they're living their life now. The people who live in the bubble, they're doom spending, they have no assets, they have no gold, silver, they have no plan, they have no training, they have nothing. And these are the people that are going to be absolutely in shock when this economy collapses. When mass delusion is the preferred weapon of mobilization, you see propaganda, psychological conditioning, and censorship. These are the mechanics of manipulation and control. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do not deny what is obvious. You know the economy's bad. You know inflation isn't 3%. You know the education system is collapsing. You know the debt is bad. You know the dollar is on borrowed time. You know this stuff. But because we're told on the television day in and day out everything is okay, many people begin to believe it. They believe this propaganda, this mind control that takes place from politicians and these education institutions, these indoctrination camps called colleges and universities, even churches, many churches. You know what is going on, and you need to face reality. Stop trusting AI to tell you what to do and start listening to your gut, listen to your heart, listen to your spirit. You need to be preparing. It is unbelievable how much we've been lied to over the years about literally everything. And there's so much more we could get into about what we've been lied to that got us into wars, that got us into a Great Depression. There's so much. And we are on the brink of another major Great Depression right now, but we're being told everything is okay. And I think that that's really a tragedy, because if our politicians really cared about us, if our media really cared about us, they would be telling us to prepare, really begin to prepare your families, because we're heading into some really, really bad times. Nugget. And most people are not prepared because they continue to believe all this propaganda, and they continue to believe the television. They continue to believe AI. And if you continue to do that, not think for yourself, you're going to be left out in the cold. Wolfstreet.com, mortgage rates are not too high. What's too high are home prices that exploded by 40 to 70% in 2 years, creating the affordability crisis. So true. I've said this a million times. Mortgage rates between 6 and 8% are completely normal. What is not normal are the prices of homes today that have absolutely exploded in the last couple years. We need something to happen here, and I think we're going to see it. I think we are, and many people will say that this can't happen again, but I think we're going to have another '08 housing crash. Except this one may be even worse. And a lot of people say, oh, that's impossible. It can't happen. Buyers today are in much better shape. Are they? Are they really in better financial shape? What happens when you don't have a job? What happens when inflation gets so far out of control? What happens? You lose your house. God forbid that happens to anybody watching this channel tonight, but it can happen. And I've never personally seen the economy in this type of disarray. I've never seen the economy in this bad a shape ever. I've never seen layoffs like this ever, and they seem to continue to increase. And if this continues, more people are losing their houses. And let's not forget the whole Airbnb euphoria. Everybody was going to be a real estate mogul and buy 3 houses and rent them out and get rich. And that's not happening now. Everything is slowing down. We're going to wait and see how it plays out. But all these people that told us how great everything is and was and how everything's going to be fine and, 2026 is going to be a wonderful year, I completely disagree. I hate to be a doomsdayer, but I'm a realist. And I'm connecting the dots just like you. I'm going to prepare more than ever for 2026 because I think 26 is going to be a big year. I think we're going to see some really big problems hit the United States. I don't know what's going to happen in Ukraine, if things are going to calm down or not, or escalate. They could escalate even more. Who knows? Something big could happen here on U.S. soil. That is for sure. You have to be ready for anything at this point. Please be ready for anything. And be preparing. Make sure your family's preparing. Make sure you put a little extra food away for your pets, your dogs, your cats, all of that, because you don't know what you're going to wake up to. An absolutely beautiful evening here in Bama. Absolutely gorgeous evening. I'm happy to be here. I feel much safer being here. I really feel something big is going to happen in 26. I hope not. I hope things stay calm. But the barometer that we should all be watching is gold and silver, because the higher it goes, that means we're going to get closer and closer to more chaos, something big breaking. And somebody behind the scenes knows something. There's a group of people behind the scenes that knows something. Friday, something happened. Maybe Comex couldn't deliver. I don't know. Something happened on Friday. We can only speculate. Your guess is as good as mine. Comment down below. But something happened. Now, I haven't seen the metal markets tonight. We'll see what happens tomorrow if this carries over. It doesn't really matter to me. We could see a pullback. It doesn't matter, because prices are going to continue to go up. Yes, there will be pullbacks, but at the end of the day, prices are going up. We're seeing higher highs and we're seeing higher lows. And just imagine where this is going to be next year. And if we're right, gold and silver prices are higher in 26 than 25, that's going to tell me that we're going to see more societal breakdown, more war, more political uncertainty, and more problems with the U.S. economy. So prepare the way you need to prepare, the best of your ability, and do it how you think you need to do it. But I would advise prepare and be ready for any type of black swan event or multiple black swan events. Be careful out there. God bless. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. God bless every one of you.